Hello everyone, I hope you guys are well. In this video, I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update regarding my business. I feel like I moved to Ghana with you guys. I started my business in Ghana with you guys, so it only makes sense for me to update you guys on the progress, the things that I've learned, and I guess some tips for you guys who are wanting to move to Ghana. So yeah, we are trying to make $1 work, okay? $1 is basically 5 Ghana cedis and 80 pesos or so.
Oftentimes, the people who succeed in life are the ones willing to take the biggest risks in life. The difference between these people and everybody else is that they feel the fear, but they do it anyways. Fear will keep you from reaching your destiny. My guest is living fearlessly, and I love it. You and I can certainly learn one or two things from her. Let's meet her. So welcome to another segment of Building a Legacy That Counts, where we look to inspire and empower the youth. My name is Akusika, and today I get to sit down with a young lady that I feel like is fearless. She is daring. She goes after what she wants. She knows exactly what she wants, and she goes after, and you guys will understand what I mean in a few. Welcome, Jasmine.
Hello, Aku. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for sitting down with me. It's a privilege. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. I'm doing really well. I finally have a day off this week, so yeah, I'm doing good.
Are
Well
you
rested.
working? Are you
Yeah,
working? Are
so
you back
just
to working with COVID?
yeah. So well, just YouTube, doing YouTube and everything else that I do, selling
Mm,
my all that. Yeah, so I'm pretty
very
busy.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's good to keep yourself busy nowadays. It kind of keeps you out of
Mhm.
trouble.
Absolutely.
So I would love to know, tell me about growing up in Australia. You know, it's a country that I've always wanted to visit. Haven't had the
Mhm.
opportunity, but because of you, I think I'm going to make a trip down there. So tell me, what was it like growing up there?
Sure, sure. So when I moved, okay, so the first part of my life that I spent in Australia was the first 5 years of my life. So
Mm-hmm.
that part I don't remember anything. And then
Ah,
yeah, so I moved to Ghana at 5 years old. I stayed till I was 17, and then I
mm,
moved back to Australia again. So
got it.
I spent about, say, I don't know, just a little over 20 years over there. And
Mm-hmm.
then, yeah, the rest of my life in Ghana. So I guess when I moved over there, I was already a teenager. Um, it was interesting. Like, there isn't as many black people over there as there is in the US and in the UK, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to, people are very nice, very friendly, but people are also curious because they don't get to interact with people like me on a daily basis, you
Got
know.
it.
So they
Okay.
would ask questions. You actually get people that would ask, you know, do you have houses where you came from? Yeah. You would, yeah.
You
Well,
know,
at that
a lot
time
of people
anyway.
say that, but it's hard to imagine somebody asking me, "Did you live in a hut?" Like,
Yeah, yeah, people actually do because it's more out of curiosity though,
mm,
because they obviously they've just seen stuff on TV and they just go by that, you know, yeah. So they're always just wondering, like, what's it like to be in Africa?
got it.
So there's that curiosity part, but generally people are quite warm. People in Australia are very laid back, very just chill about everything. So it wasn't too bad. It was a little bit tricky making friends because I was a little bit older and people already had friends from being children from primary school. So
Mm,
that part was a little bit hard. I didn't really meet my best friends until my final year in high school. So
really?
yeah, yeah. So it took a little while, but generally speaking, it was okay. Like, it took a while for me to fit in again because I didn't remember anything from when I lived there previously. So, but
Got
you know,
it.
over time, everything becomes a little bit easy once you make friends, once you get to know the people. And I also had to learn to speak differently as well because when I moved over there, I sounded very Ghanaian, obviously, and they struggled to understand me. So I had to learn to speak differently so they can understand me.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
That's always
Yeah.
tough trying to, because I know people who send their kids back just to assimilate and, learn about the culture. But then they come back to wherever they left, and it's always a struggle for the kids to kind of fit,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So what were the motivating factors that made you decide to move back to Ghana from Australia? I mean, like you said, it took you a while to settle in, to make friends, to get a job that probably paid you pretty well, have access to good health care. Why would you leave all of that and move back to Ghana?
Yeah. So that was actually a question that like so many people would ask me, including my dad. My dad was like, Jasmine, I don't understand you. Like, why do you want He really didn't want me to come back because he really didn't understand why I wanted to come back. But I guess for me, as soon as I moved over there, I knew I'll be coming back. Like
You
I didn't
did.
know. I did, yeah. I didn't know what that would look like. I didn't know when that would happen. I just had this feeling that I'll be back in Ghana. Because there's just this sense of belonging that I have in Ghana that I just cannot get anywhere else. Like in the time that I lived in Australia, I traveled to so many different countries. I've been to like maybe 14 different countries, I think. But I've never felt the way I feel about Ghana in any other countries. So I don't know. I just always knew I'll be coming back. Like it's just home. I just belong here. And when I lived in Australia, I used to come on holiday every year or every other year. But I always wanted it to be the opposite. I wanted to live here and then visit Australia every year or every other year. So
I see.
yeah, it was just an inner thing, like an inner feeling that I had that I just wanted to be in Ghana. So there was no practical justification for it, I couldn't, because if I was looking at the practical stuff, Australia makes sense. Australia makes sense to be at, because yes, as you said, I had a good job. I was a social worker. I had done it for 6 years. I was in a government role as well. So I pretty much was guaranteed lifetime work. And every year your pay goes up. So, it makes sense to be there, but it was a bit empty for me. Like, it just felt empty. Like I was just living this routine, mundane kind of lifestyle. And I just felt like being in Ghana will allow me to have a bit of a balance. And that balance, I don't think I can get over there. So, yeah.
It's really interesting that people in Ghana, would do anything to move to the Western world. And then people in the Western world are fighting to go back home.
I know,
I always
right?
tell my husband, it's almost like you want to give everybody an opportunity to come out here and see it for themselves,
Absolutely. I was having a conversation with this girl the other day, and she was asking me the same thing. And I said to her, I mean, I understand people that want to move over there because obviously they haven't experienced it yet. Exactly. And a lot of people in Ghana are still in survival mode. They're still trying to make ends meet. They're still trying to establish some form of income. They're still trying to care for their kids. They're still trying to do all those things. But people in the West, generally speaking, they've established all of that. They've done the survival aspect is kind of sorted. And obviously, once that's done, there's another level of yearning that you have. And I think that's where we're at. And that's why we're keen to come back. But the people that haven't met their survival needs think it's an opportunity, which it is. You know what I mean? So I would never discourage anybody from going. I think it's great to go and experience it. And when you get to the next level, you probably consider returning as well.
Absolutely. I think everyone should have the opportunity to just see something other than what they know, because it brings perspective. It definitely helps diversify, how you see the world. So
exactly.
I wish I had the means to bring everybody out here.
I know.
To Australia.
I know, why not?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you talked about your dad struggling with you moving back. What about the
Mhm.
rest of the family? Do you have any siblings? How do they feel?
I have one brother. My
Okay.
brother he understands, like he wants to come back as well, but
Mm,
he's just had a baby, so he has stuff to take care of before he makes plans towards that. My mom is pretty chill as well. Like
mhm,
she basically allows me to do whatever I want to do because she believes that, you know, I'm grown enough to make those kind of decisions for myself. So she
mhm.
just supports me with these kind of things. And she loves Ghana as well. She wishes she could move straight away, but she just has to put a few things in place before coming. So I didn't
Exactly.
really have any difficulty with her or with my brother. My extended family, some of them had questions like, what the hell? Like, why are you do you know how
Was
hard
it
it
the
is
ones
in
in
Ghana?
Ghana or the ones that were in Australia?
No, the ones over here. So
Ah,
in Australia, it's just my nuclear family.
I see.
All
Okay.
my extended family is in Ghana, yeah.
Ghana.
And yeah, they were all wondering, like, we want to go. Why are you coming? Like, yeah. But I guess for me, and my dad discouraged me quite a bit from coming because I guess he was worried about what my life will look like when I'm over
Mhm,
here. What work will I do? Would I just not do anything whilst I'm over here and all that? But I think for me, when I have a goal, like I always do a thing called, I always do visualizing, right? Well, not always, but
mhm,
every now and again, I visualize my life and I try to plan for it. So I look at how I want my life to look like in, say, I don't know, 5 years or something like that. And then I try and visualize what I want that to look like. And then I
mhm,
make plans towards it, right? So I knew that within a certain number of years, this
mhm,
is what I wanted my life to look like. So I had been making plans towards it. And so, because it's my life,
mhm.
there isn't really anyone who could tell me what to
What to do?
do and how
Exactly.
to live it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Um, and I always say that, well, I believe that there's a higher power around us, and sometimes it tries to guide us in different directions.
Mhm.
And if that higher power wants to tell me something, it won't tell my dad, it won't tell my mom, it won't tell anyone, it will tell
Will
me
come
directly.
directly to you. Mhm.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And so that's what I go by. I just go by my intuition. I knew it would be a good thing. I knew good things will come of it if I moved to Ghana. So nobody could stop me really. Like, and I was ready. I'm ready, and I was ready for anything that came. If I came to Ghana, whether it was bad, it was good, whatever it is, I was ready for it. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think having positive um thoughts about what you're doing helps a lot,
Mhm.
you know.
Absolutely,
So you
absolutely.
talked about having to put certain things in place before moving to Ghana, which I think is really key. You can't just
Mhm.
up and leave and go to a different country. There has to be certain steps that you take that allows you to comfortably move back. Granted, you will have some challenges, but
Mhm.
being prepared is better than doing nothing. So what
Mhm.
were the steps that you took to
Mhm.
ensure that, moving back was successful and you weren't, packing up and coming back in
Mhm. For sure,
five
for sure.
months? Because I've had people go and come back. They
Yeah,
just couldn't do it. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like you probably had, certain things that you put in place to allow for that.
Mhm.
Walk me.
Mhm. Mhm. I think, yeah, planning, I'm a planner. Like
Mhm.
I'm slightly spontaneous, but I really try to plan as much as I can, you know.
Mhm.
So I have been planning this for a while, like maybe five and a bit years ago, I started planning for this move.
Okay.
So I think, and knowing why I wanted to be here as well. I think knowing why was the main thing. Like I
Exactly.
needed to understand what's the reason why I want to move to Ghana, because I knew that that would be what will hold me down and keep me
Mhm.
going no matter what happens when I come to Ghana. So establishing why I wanted to come was the first thing I did, and then I started making plans towards it.
Mhm.
I thought about, where am I going to live? How am I going to make money? what do I want my life to look like when I'm over here? If things get hard, what am I going to do? Do I want to go back and forth between Australia and here? Like, what do I want all that to look like? I actually wrote everything down.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
And then,
amazing.
thank you. And then 5 years ago, on one of my trips to Ghana, I had made a plan to find a place to buy. I did, like, I asked around and stuff about building and buying, what that looks like. I knew building was cheaper, but then because I wasn't living in Ghana at that time, it wasn't really an option because I didn't want any dramas.
Exactly.
So I just took a 6-week holiday to Ghana, and that whole 6 weeks was for searching for a house to buy. So just did a lot of exploring, looking around and stuff like that. And then finally found one before leaving Ghana at that time. So establishing a home was really important to me as well, because I feel like that's one of the most expensive things. If you're moving to Ghana, once that's done, you're fine. Because water, electricity, food, those kind of things are not that expensive.
Yeah, and it really depends on how much you use, right? So, I mean, if you have some certain controls, you should be fine. Something you can control.
Exactly. So bought a home and then started saving towards it as well at that time. So yeah, those were the things I did. Made a plan for my YouTube channel as well, because I knew that would definitely be a part of the way I make money in Ghana. Because when I was over there, I was making a little bit of money from it, but it wasn't really a big deal to me. Like, it was just a hobby that I was doing. Yeah, it wasn't really a job as such at that time. But I wanted it to be one of my sources of income when I came to Ghana. So I made a plan about how I'm going to change the brand of my YouTube channel when I move to Ghana, what kind of things I'm going to be sharing, I thought about what kind of things people are likely to be interested in, those kind of things. So I made a plan for that as well. And then I thought about, okay, how that might not be enough income. What else do I want to do? And that the other business that I do, I sell natural skincare and hair care. That's something that I had started in Sydney as well, and I made plans to bring that here as well. So
very nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What are some of the struggles you've had in Ghana so far?
I feel like I haven't really had any major struggles as such. Yeah, like,
I think probably because you prepared for it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think the things that I've complained about, I feel like they're all quite petty. Like, they're not really a big deal. Like, they're nothing that will make me be like, I'm packing my bags and leaving Ghana today.
Break.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I've had difficulty with is the pace of everything. Everything is super slow. Oh, it's slow. It's slow. And like, sometimes you're trying to do just one little thing. You might go to, I don't know, let's say you're trying to purchase something, and there's this thing has a website, right? So you go on the website and they might give you, this actually happened to me. So let me give you an example. I was looking for bubble wrap to buy, and I went on Google, and then I found this shop that said they had bubble wrap available. And there was one in Tema and there was one in Accra. So I was like, oh, I live in Tema. Tema won't be too far from this place. So let me just go check it out. So I use the GPS and I drive to the location. And then I call them and I say, hey, I'm here. I want to buy some stuff. I can't find you guys. Can you direct me? Because I'm right next to the bank that you guys said you were located at. And then they're like, oh, we haven't been there for the past 5 years. We've moved to Accra now. And I'm just like, why haven't you updated your website? Like,
oh my goodness.
To them, it's nothing. It's not even a big deal. So I was like, okay, so where are you guys located in Accra? And I was like, do you guys have bubble wrap available? And he's like, no, we stopped selling that a while ago too. And I'm just like,
why? You told me.
Why is this still on your website? Like, oh my God. It's those kind of things. So when you want to buy anything, you can't just go on the internet and call and order. A lot of the time, you actually have to go to the shop and sometimes it's not close to you. And, you know, when you're running a business, there's certain things that you just don't want to waste your
Yeah,
time on. You know what I mean? So those kind of things just drag things out.
Mm-hmm.
So, you may go to a regular store to go and, I don't know, do something. Let's say you're registering for something. The response you might get is, oh, the officer that does the stamps for these papers isn't here today. He'll be back tomorrow. What time? They'll be like, oh, you know, maybe between 12 and 5 o'clock. And I'm like, okay, so what time exactly should I come? They'll be like, oh, sister, me should I need more? Like, about between 4 and 5 more, you know, now
Yeah.
and I'm like,
And people don't realize how frustrating this is for us because
yeah.
the pace of life is so fast out here. And
Exactly.
Ghanaians
But
might just
them,
look at
it's
you like,
nothing.
seriously?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
they're not worried. They don't think it's such a big deal at all. So it's just the
Yeah.
pace of things. I feel like it's very hard.
Right.
The other thing, I think the roads, like, that's something that is a little bit annoying, especially when it rains. When it rains, it can be, depending on where you live, it can be really frustrating, like trying to get through these giant puddles because the potholes are just so big and, you know, little things like that. But other than that, I can't really complain. Like, just since I've been here, the electricity has been pretty steady. Like, it might go off, say, once every fortnight. And if it's only for a couple of hours.
Got it.
The water will probably go off maybe once a week. It's not really anything that's gonna have a major impact. So
On you.
yeah.
I
So
always
everything.
say that in Ghana, I feel like there isn't a sense of urgency because
No.
people are moving really slow. However, that could also be a good thing because out here in the Western world, I mean, we are moving at a pace that will literally make your head spin, right? And so sometimes when we go back home, we should actually enjoy the slower pace. But I can absolutely see how that can be a problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think Ghana won't be Ghana if it didn't have those things. You know, if the pace of
Exactly.
life here was just as fast, nobody would want to move here anyway, you know. So I might complain then, but I don't really take it personally, you know. I just kind of get on with my day. Yeah, yeah.
Right. You talked about finding a home, and I think it's really impressive because, you know, a lot of people are waiting for traditionally the man to buy the home. You know, it's just, you know, how life is in Ghana.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would love to commend you on that because that's amazing for,
Thank
you know, a
you.
young lady to buy her own place, does not rent, and there's nothing wrong with renting. But I think the fact that you prepared yourself for that, that's amazing. What was the
Thank
process like though?
So I had a little bit of help. One of my neighbors, he knew a few real estate agents, so that made it slightly easier. I feel like if he wasn't a part of the process, it would have taken me a longer time to find something.
Got it.
The process was actually okay because I had help, but we had to do a lot of viewing. We viewed so many houses in so many different areas. We were doing maybe 5 houses in a day. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was actually not, like, the hard part was meeting up with some of the agents. So sometimes they'll tell you they'll meet you at 12 and then they'll get there at 3. Sometimes you get to the house that they decided to show you and they don't even have keys to the place. They're like, oh, they're waiting for the owner to bring the keys, you know, so little things
What
like
a
that.
life.
I know.
I'm
That
gonna
actually
sell a
happened.
house. I show up to the house, but I don't have the keys.
I don't have keys. But because obviously you pay them a little bit, sometimes, even on the day, you might give them something little for their transport. So they have to make sure they get there. But they might get there without the keys to the property. Yeah. Yeah. So that happens several times. That's actually the norm now. Like, it seems like people actually do it. They'll just take you there and hope to get the keys to the place.
Got it. Okay.
So We did that a couple of times, just going up and down, viewing different properties. Some people were interesting in the fact that you might get to their house, they'll be like, yeah, they want to sell. And you're like, okay, so how much are you selling this for? And then it's almost like they're thinking about the price. So you know that they're just kind of looking at you and
Mm-hmm.
using that to give you a price instead of having a fixed price for the house. So those kind of things as well. So in the end, I ended up buying. So this house belonged to someone, but he was selling through an agency.
Okay.
So that made it a little more official as well, just to make sure that like all the documents and everything were accurate and the house actually belonged to him. So we went to the Lands Commission. Once we found the one that we wanted, we went to the
Mm-hmm.
Lands Commission, made sure that the land belonged to the guy. We viewed the documents and everything, made sure all was good, and then we purchased it through the real estate agency that
Got
he
it.
was
Okay.
selling through. Yeah, yeah,
That's amazing. That's
yeah,
amazing. I feel like when you always have somebody to help out, it makes things a lot easier. And that's what
absolutely.
people need to know. If you're looking to move to Ghana,
Right.
you got to kind of
That's
build a network of individuals that can help you out.
that's it exactly. And I feel like if you don't have anyone at all, you're better off getting like speaking to an agency and getting
Mm-hmm.
the agency to show you what's available rather than doing it through like an just a random real estate agent, because that's when people get duped and stuff like that.
Okay.
And you can't purchase whilst you're over there either. You have to be here. There's no way you can purchase through someone or just send
Mm-hmm.
money to somebody. And yeah, you have to be
Yeah,
here.
I wouldn't advise that. And
Absolutely.
yeah, to your point, even when you're looking to move to Ghana, I think it's important that you go and visit a couple
Absolutely.
of times, right? Because you
Yeah.
just can't up and move and not have
Mhm.
that experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You talked a little bit about a business that you started. Now, one thing
Mhm.
I support and I absolutely will invest in is hard work and innovation. So, I mean, the
Mhm.
fact that you started your own business and it's running in Ghana, that's really impressive. Can you tell us a little bit more about your business and how people can support you?
Sure, sure. So my business is called Lasher Skin and Hair. I
Okay.
started it in Australia about 2 years ago. I started off just selling pure shea butter on its own,
Mm-hmm.
and people started buying that. The idea actually came from people seeing my natural hair and wanting to know what I was
Uh,
putting in,
okay.
how I was taking care of it. And so they started asking how can they get some of the products that I was using. So then I started selling just pure shea butter. And then in that time, I started researching and learning how to make conditioners and other types of creams and stuff like that. So I started making that and selling that as well over there, just within
Mm-hmm.
Australia, even though I was doing it online.
Okay.
And then um, since being in Ghana, I basically sell worldwide, and there's a lot more people that want just pure shea butter and pure black soap and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So I sell that as well. Um, I do that through Instagram. I have an Instagram page, Lasher Skin and Hair. My
Okay.
website is www.lasherskinandhair, and there's an email and a WhatsApp number on my website as well if people want to contact me. So it's all handmade, it's all natural. I generally use just essential oils to add scent to my products, because
Mm-hmm.
that allows for your skin and your hair to not get dry, because sometimes fragrances can strip your hair and strip your skin of its natural moisture and stuff like that as well.
Got
So
it. Okay.
yeah, yeah. But the main goal is to, I guess, inspire people to wear their natural skin and natural hair just as it is, but beautify it and make it look good, so they're confident enough to wear it as it is.
Got it. I do wear my natural hair, but
Mhm.
it's hard to maintain.
Yeah. So when you say it's hard to maintain, what do
So
you
for
do to
me,
it?
I have really my hair is really afro, and it's
Right.
the texture of my hair is really thick and just hard to comb through.
Right, right.
Are your products the kind that will soften it and just make it easy to maintain?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
I actually don't believe anyone has tougher hair than I do
Really?
because yes,
And you do
my
have
hair used to
beautiful hair,
snap
by the
combs all the
way.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. My hair used to snap combs all the time. Like my mom will be trying to comb through my hair and the comb would just
Will
break.
come apart. Well, mine is not that bad.
You see, that's what I mean. So if I'm able to take care of mine to a point where it's manageable, then I absolutely believe you can do the same. I think
Mhm.
it's probably the routine that you need to change and structure properly so that your hair is softer. You
Got
just
it.
need to experiment a bit more as well. I find a lot of people that have tough hair, you're either trying to comb it when it's like super dry or you're not moisturizing with the right products. So your hair
Got
doesn't
it.
stay soft. Yeah. If you moisturize with the right products, it should stay soft for like at least a week before you need to
Oh,
add more.
okay.
Yeah,
And are you
absolutely.
doing videos to help women
I
kind of
do,
walk them
yeah.
through the process?
Yes, so I do
Okay.
have a second channel as well, which is Luscious Skin and Hair. I think it's Luscious, yeah, Luscious Skin and Hair. There I share like skincare tips, hair tips, and I show some of my products and how to use it as well
Ah,
in there.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. And this
yeah.
is both on Instagram and
And
YouTube.
YouTube as well.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Very nice. I will check that out because I need help.
Yeah.
I really want to keep the natural hair, but it's a process. So I'll
Yeah,
definitely check it out. And please, everybody
yeah.
watching, be sure to check it out and support.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, what are your long-term aspirations? You seem to be a planner. You seem to know what you want to do in 5, 10 years. Where are you looking to go in Ghana?
Okay, so I want to have a shop here in Ghana. Currently I make everything at home. I sell from home.
Oh,
Most of
okay.
my Yeah, most of my customers are online, so that's not too hard. But in Ghana, people are not with the online thing too. I mean, there's a lot of people that are with the online thing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still a large population
Yeah.
that are not online yet. So I do want to have a shop in Accra. Hopefully by the end of the year, fingers crossed, we're saving towards that. So we'll see how
Mm-hmm.
that. Um, Within the next 5 years, I'm hoping to have two more shops, one in Kumasi and then one in Tema as well.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah,
You are
yes.
busy. I love it. No, but I
So,
think to your point, having a storefront might be a lot more beneficial because
yeah,
Ghanaians just visually want to see things, right? So they would
exactly.
rather walk into a store, fill out the product before they get it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's the goal for the end of the year, but hopefully we can have a few more. And eventually I want to go like to other countries and stuff, to have a store over there as well. So
Got
we'll see
it.
what happens with that. And hopefully with my YouTube as well. I love doing YouTube. It's just
Mm-hmm.
a part of my life. So that's something that I will probably keep building and building and building. And yeah, and hopefully someone marries me as well within this time.
It will happen. Trust the process. It will happen. I love that. Well, if you
And
watch it and, Jasmine is, yeah. So
yeah.
it will
And then
happen.
yeah, I love kids as well in the next couple of years. And yeah, we'll see what happens there too. So
Well, please send me an invite for the wedding because
I will
regardless of where I
absolutely.
am, I will fly and support.
Thank you. Thank
That is
you.
awesome. Um, what would you tell somebody who is in a position where they are really just tired of living in the Western world? They are on
Mhm.
the fence, right? But
Mhm.
not so sure if they want to make that big move. What would you
Mm.
tell such a
I think if they're on the fence, then maybe there's some fears or there's something that they're worried about should they move. So I like to write stuff down. I think that really helps. Sometimes when you think about the fears that you have about moving and you write those things down, once you see it on paper, then you're like, oh, actually, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? So sometimes that helps. So I'd say that's really important. If they can do that, that would help. Just thinking about what they're worried about. And when you think about what you're worried about, the good thing about that is you can also start thinking about how you can counteract those problems. Like, what else can you do should those things happen? Like, how can you fix it? And then sometimes when you think of the solutions, then you're like, oh, actually, if that happened, it won't be that bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think we also always need to remember, for a lot of people in the West, you have citizenship or whatever it is wherever you are anyway. You know what I mean? So you can go back. It can be a 5-year experience in Ghana, and then you can be like, okay, I think I want to go back, and you can go back, you know? So just like, you can't take life too seriously. You just have to do it like it's something you just want to experience. Just do it like it's an experience you want to experience, because it's better for you to do it and know that, oh, it actually wasn't something you wanted to follow through with, so you're going back, rather than just sitting on it and then years later feeling like, oh, I should have done it, you know, why didn't I do it, that kind of thing. Just come and experience it for yourself. If you hate it, just go back. Like,
and you know what, you make a really good point. I always tell people to feel the fear, but do it anyways, right? Because you just never know what's on the other side of that.
Exactly.
Fear. And so fear is not something you can necessarily control. You will feel it, but just push yourself through it and do it anyway. Because you just know, right?
That's right. And you will grow through the process. There's so much you're going to learn if you come. You might make good friends, and you just don't know what opportunities will come from it as well. So just come and experience it, because sometimes you just get super comfortable in the West. It's like you don't feel like you're complete over there, but you're comfortable, so you don't want to leave that comfort. Trust me, like, if you really have the goal of moving, just make solid plans and come. Like, it just can't go wrong if you make solid plans. You'd be just fine.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's really good advice for individuals. It's never going to be easy, but to your point, you don't know what lies on the other side of that fear, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Very nice. Which brings me to a slogan that you have at the end of every video you make, which I absolutely love. How did you come up with that, and why?
I actually made it up. Like, I completely made it up. Yeah, I just thought about my beliefs, and I just believe if you go with your intuition, you just cannot go wrong. Like, it just will work out. And I mean, there's a few sayings that I drew from the belief system in Ghana, I guess. Like, Nipa Yeden is something you might hear people say in Ghana a couple of times. Diabesibia is something that you hear people say as well. But they're all things that I believe in. I believe that, you know, you've been given one life. You've been given the opportunity to be able to live in wherever you are, or live in Ghana if you wanted to. Some people don't even have the chance to travel anywhere. So if you have the chance, like, follow your bliss. If you feel like doing it, just follow it. And, you know, why not? Life is short. I mean, this is like a bit of a sad story, but it was actually really interesting to see, because my whole family really learned from it. One of my mom's really good friends passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was a while back, but like, she wasn't sick, nothing. She was just sitting there chatting to her husband, and she just died. Just like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So if that doesn't tell you life is short, I really don't know what else will, you know? So, yeah, I just feel like you could be asleep and you could die. You could be sick and you could die. You could be sitting down and you could die. So just do whatever it is you want to do.
Live life like it's your purpose every day.
Live life to your fullest. And I think that's where the whole saying comes from. You need to live
Ah,
life. Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. Can you say it for me, please?
Sure. Follow your bliss. Now life is short. Follow your bliss. Now nipa ye day. Follow your bliss. Now the besi biya ye. And follow your bliss. Now day ne mada.
Exactly. What has not happened before?
Exactly. It's
It will
all
not
happened
be the first
before.
or the last.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love it. I love it. Before we go off, how do you balance YouTube, your personal life, running a business, you know,
Mhm.
trying to find that man of your dreams? I don't know if you try it, but balance all of that and do well at all of it, you know?
Yeah, oh my, I don't even know what the right, I die every week because,
It's a lot.
yeah, it's a lot. It's very, very hard. It's very busy. I do get a little bit of help with my filming and stuff like that, just with family.
Okay.
But for most of it, I have to be there because I'm still kind of showing them how to do certain things and how to make sure the camera is not shaky and all that. So, and because all my videos are outside of my house, it takes like a whole day to make just one video. So
Oh,
I
wow.
yeah, so it's just making like having a structure in my week. So I know, say this Monday, I have stuff to ship, so I have to make sure they're ready so they can
Mhm.
go. And then Tuesday, I know I have to go out and film. Wednesday, I know I have to edit. So I just have to have a very clear structure in my week. Otherwise, it just doesn't happen. And then I make sure I have like at least one day. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but one day in a week to be
Just
social and stuff
relax.
like
Mhm.
that. Yeah, yeah. But I am very busy, like very busy,
Busy is
ridiculously busy.
good. It keeps you out of
Busy, yeah.
trouble.
It's good kind of busy.
Well, it was an absolute pleasure sitting down with you. What I will tell you is continue to build a legacy that counts. And we are super proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Aku.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the interview. It's been really lovely to meet you as well.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to invite me to that wedding.
Absolutely. You'll be the first on the list.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aku.
Okay, cut. Be sure to check out the africanlegacy.com to learn more about our brand.
When are you coming to Ghana?
When are we going to Ghana? As
Fair
soon as I can get to Ghana, I will be there.
Honey, okay, make sure you check on me when you're here.
Why not? I'm coming to the wedding. You forgot?